Welcome to Love God, Love Others. Create a right relationship with the Lord. Read His Word, follow His way, and simply love God, love others. 4 chapters a day, except for Sunday, finish the entire Bible in just under 1 year. Today's episode continues 1 Samuel with chapters 13 through 16. 1 Samuel 13 rebukes Saul. What have you done? Yeah, who hadn't heard that in their life? You acted foolishly. You have not kept the command the Lord your God gave you. If you had, He would have established your kingdom over Israel for all time. Saul should have waited for Samuel, as God said. And Saul offered up the burnt offering. Just as he finished making the offering, Samuel arrived, and Saul went out to greet him. Only the priest was to make the sacrifice. But now your kingdom will not endure. The Lord has sought out a man after his own heart and appointed him leader of his people, because you have not kept the Lord's command. His son Jonathan would not become king, but David would. Question: do I use a worldly mind or a godly heart? 1 Samuel 14 shows God is in charge. So the Lord rescued Israel that day, and the battle moved on to Beth-aven. Jonathan and his armor-bearer set out without Saul's knowledge. But if they say, "Come up to us," we will climb up, because that will be our sign that the Lord has given them into our hands. And the Philistines' response to their harassment was with God's prompt. Then everyone else joined in. Should Jonathan die, he who has brought about his great deliverance in Israel? Never. As surely as the Lord lives, not a hair of his head will fall to the ground, for he did this today with God's help. Saul's vow to not eat was undone by the people for Jonathan having eaten the honey. Question: am I following God? 1 Samuel 15 takes Israel from Saul. Does the Lord delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices as much as in obeying the voice of the Lord? To obey is better than sacrifice, and to heed is better than the fat of rams. Saul was to destroy everyone and everything of the Amalekites. I am grieved that I have made Saul king, because he has turned away from me and has not carried out my instructions. For a second time, Saul did not do as God said, so he was rejected. The Lord has torn the kingdom of Israel from you today and has given it to one of your neighbors, to one better than you. Oh! Question: have I obeyed God? 1 Samuel 16 anoints David. The Lord does not look at the things man looks at. Man looks at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. God passed on the first 7 brothers, choosing the youngest. Rise and anoint him. He is the one. So Samuel took the horn of oil and anointed him in the presence of his brothers, and from that day on, the Spirit of the Lord came upon David in power. Now, the Spirit of the Lord had departed from Saul, and an evil spirit from the Lord tormented him. And David was called to play harp, so Saul would feel better and the evil spirit would leave. Question: will I go as God calls, no matter the circumstances? Keep the Lord's commands and follow his ways. Obey and let the Spirit of the Lord work through you to love God, love others. Everything else is the opportunity to do these two. Until next time.